What's up guys, welcome back here on my YouTube channel. Today guys, I'm going to show you how you can get easy 2 million credits in GT7 around Trail Mountain with this Toyota. So now guys, enjoy this track guide, like, subscribe for more content like this. Now guys, let's have a look how you can get your easy 2 million credits. Enjoy. Let's have a look how you can get your easy 2 million credits. So now guys, for the first turn, I use the marshal there on the left side. As you can see, this marshal was standing right there on the left side. And well, this is probably my breaking point for the first turn. You also can use the bridge there, so you can maybe think about you want to brake before you reach the bridge, so you maybe get used to the distance where you want to start braking. But I think the best braking point for this first turn is the marshal there on the left side. Then guys, it's very important that you brake in a straight line, then downshift into third gear, and while you're turning in, as you have to watch my braking right now, because I'm slowly dropping the brakes. As you can see, holding the brakes, holding the brakes, holding the brakes, and as soon as I cut the curb there, I drop the brakes and try to accelerate smoothly out of the turn. Then I want to steer aggressively to the right side. So actually, as soon as you at this point there, so maybe you can use the thing here as a reference. So before you can't see it, as you can see, right now it's almost gone, this gate on the right side, so maybe this could be your breaking point for the second turn. This is probably mine, so this is where I want to tap the brakes and try to aim for the apex there of the second turn. So as you can see, I downshift in the second gear, then hold my brakes, and then I want to try to clip over this curb here. It's important that you don't go too much over this yellow part of the curb there, otherwise you can invalidate your lap, which is definitely not ideal, guys. And then as you can see, I'm slowly going back on power. It's very crucial that you be very smooth and gentle with the throttle, because it's very easy to lose the car there, because the car is a bit snappy and oversteery. So you have to control the car with your inputs, for example with your braking, and also with how fast you accelerate out of the turn. Then for the next upcoming turn, I use the yellow barrier on the left side. So actually this barrier here as a reference where I want to start braking. And as soon as I'm right next to the barrier, I want to tap the brakes to 100%, brake in a straight line, then downshift in the third gear. And while I'm turning in, I'm slowly dropping the brakes. And as more as I'm turning in, as much I'm releasing the pressure of the brakes. As you can see right now here, then I try to go over this curve there as much as I can, then smoothly accelerate out of the turn. So I try to be to accelerate 90%, and then I try to go 100%. If you go instant to 100%, it could be that the car snap you out, or you get a bit of oversteer out of the exit, which is definitely not ideal, because you want to still keep your minimum speed high. This is very crucial, guys. And then for the next upcoming turn, I use this part there as a reference where I want to start braking. So actually, at this point is where I want to start braking, then I brake in a straight line, then I stay in third gear, just try to let the car a bit roll over the crest there, and then smoothly accelerate out of the turn. Unfortunately, I was a bit too gentle with the throttle, because I could be a bit more aggressive there, but still it was okay. And then you just want to be smooth with the steering wheel, try to be close to the walls there, and then go all the way to the left side. This is very crucial, because you want to prepare your line for the next upcoming long straight. As you can see, after this turn there, it's a long straight, so it's very important that you get this exit right. For this turn, I use this barrier there as a reference. So as soon as I'm right next to the barrier there, I want to tap the brakes to 100%. Then, as you can see, I'm holding the brakes. It's very important that you hold the brakes a bit higher than maybe usual in a GT3 car or something like that, because this can really help you to stabilize the car better, and it also helps that you don't drift the car into the turn, which is definitely not good, because then you just kill your minimum speed and you won't have a good exit out of the turn. Then I stay in third gear. Actually, it would be much nicer if you would go a bit more to the right side, so that you maybe if you would be a bit closer to the apex, but still it was good. So I was back on power early, so this still got me time. I lost a bit of time to the world record, but still it seems to be okay. And then just for this long straight, as you can see, just straight your wheel up as much as it can. Then for the next upcoming turn, guys, I use the lights there on the right side. So actually, as you can see there, I use this orange yellow lights as a reference. So I want to tap the brakes. So as soon as I reach this point, I tap the brakes to 100%, then downshift into fifth gear, then fourth, and then third. And as you can see, I'm slowly releasing the brakes while I'm turning in. And then as you can see, then as soon as I downshift in the third gear, I drop the brakes and try to accelerate smoothly out of the turn. Now you have to watch my throttle, because I'm not all the way back to 100%, because right now, when I'm at this point, I don't want to go all the way to the left side because I want to prepare my line for the next upcoming turn. So my goal is to go all the way to the right side, or as much as I can, as you can see. And then for this turn, I use the stone there as a reference where I want to tap the brakes. Then I just want to tap the brakes just a little bit to rotate the car. As you can see, I'm just braking just a little bit to just turn the car a bit more into the turn so that you can get a better angle for this turn. And then it's important that you go back power smoothly. Try to don't get too much oversteer, especially at this point, because otherwise you can hit the wall if you have to counter steer or something like that. Then go all the way to the wall, close to the wall there. Don't try not to hit the wall, otherwise you invalidate your lap. And then for this section, I brake as soon as I'm at the curb, right next to the curb there. As you can see, my car is right there next to the curb here with the front. This is where I want to step the brakes and brake 100%. Then really try to open up the angle as much as I can. So as you can see, I'm really using this curve there so that I can open up the angle a bit better, so that I can gain more time out of the exit and especially gain more minimum speed for the turn, which gains me time. And then, guys, as you can see, downshift in the third gear, try to hold the brakes, then just let the car a bit roll. And as soon as you clip the curb there, accelerate smoothly out of the turn. As you can see, don't try to go too aggressive back to 100%, otherwise you have to counter steer on the exit. And then for this turn, I brake before I reach the tunnel section there. As you can see, I'm just turning in while I'm braking. I'm just braking a little bit, as you can see there, staying in third gear, and then accelerate out of the turn as early as I possibly can, guys. Then really try to use every bit there on the exit. And then for this section, you want to turn in before you reach the end of this curve there, as you can see. Then I steer into the turn, upshift in the fifth gear, really try to use this curve there. And then if you go over the crest there, you really have to be a bit smooth with your inputs, because it's very easy to lose the car there, because the car gets a bit loosey-goosey there. So you have to be careful. As you can see, I'm just lifting off the throttle just a little bit. And actually, guys, it would be much nicer if you could get your car a bit more to the left side, because then you have a better angle to accelerate out of the turn much better. Because this, unfortunately, this is the point where I lost most of the time. Unfortunately, I lost just a tenth, just because I was a bit too sharp into the turn there. As you can see, because right now I just have to lift off too much so that I can even make the turn after this. And if I would have opened up the angle a bit more, I could be easily go flat out through this section. So this, guys, is important that you really try to focus on open up the angle a bit more. But still, guys, if you change your line, it's still important that you keep your minimum speed high. So if you slow down too much, this also kills your time. So try to open up the angle a bit more and still keep your minimum speed high. So this is very crucial, guys. Well, guys, this is how you should do it. Now, guys, I'm going to show you a lap again. Enjoy. So now guys, this is the end of this track guide. I really hope you was able to learn something out of this. See you next time guys, good luck for your quick lap, and bye bye.